Good morning. It is a wet April 6th, and we're at the beautiful field farm. You can see that they are closed still. It is too early to open, I suppose. We're right on the Trans-Canada Trail, which is very cool. You see that here? Both directions. You can go across Canada that way. But this is the tree farm. You can see they have a very nice inukshuk right here, made of wood, which is very, very cool. And they are planting. You can see they have lots of trees already in the distance there. And I am going to meet, hopefully, Phil Beauchamp, who is no relation, but great last name. So over and out until I meet him. Hang on. So here we are. We're meeting Phil Beauchamp. Hi, Phil. So this is your tree farm.
Yeah, it sure is. Beautiful field farm and fruit trees here in Naughton. So nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So fruit trees, I see out of the back of you there.
Yes.
There are a lot of trees there. So is
do.
it trees or also grapevines?
Everything. So apple trees, pear trees, cherry trees, plum trees, apricot trees, nut trees, and then we have berries. So we have haskaps, cherries, currants, gooseberries, blueberries, grapes, goji berries, probably 10 other things I can't think of off the top of my head. Saskatoons, elderberries, the whole shebang.
Is amazing. Yeah. So I can grow Saskatoons.
You sure can.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
This is your little friend here?
Oh yeah, a few little cats around, help get rid of the mice.
Oh, very, very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm here because your products are north hardy.
Sure
I mean, they're going to survive the winters here.
Yep, yeah, so they're all guaranteed. They come from the prairies, the vast majority of them, pretty much them all,
really?
Right? So that's where they have the hardy breeding programs at the University of Saskatchewan there. So they have the best of the best stuff, and that's kind of all we specialize in. We bring them all out from there. We have a few things we're growing and propagating on site, but the vast majority still comes from there for now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important to make sure, you know, even if you're getting a hardy variety, it's important to make sure they're on, you know, appropriate rootstock and stuff, which is the problem. A lot of the stuff that comes from down south, they're on, you know, British Malling series rootstock or the Ottawa series rootstock, which just isn't hardy for this area. So we make sure everything's on either crab rootstock or bite series from Russia. So make sure it's all super, super hardy.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, minus 30 in the winter, bring it on?
Yep. So zone 3 would be down to minus 45. Okay. And then we have a bunch of stuff zone 2 right down to minus 46.
Oh my goodness.
So people up in Timmins, Cochrane, even the far north, they come and get our stuff and they survive even up there. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Can you show me some of what you've got there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay.
We can go take a look around.
Yep, sounds good. We're getting a lot of rain.
Oh yes, it's been a rainy spring, that's for sure.
Yeah. And late too. It's been late.
Yeah, it's been a late
where we
spring.
are there in Sturgeon Falls.
Yeah, saves me watering all the pots though, so that's good. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a couple hours a day when I have to water them, so I'll take the rain for now until they're all gone. So these are all pears here. I think we have 4 or 5 varieties of pears this year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then apples, we have standard apple trees, which will grow taller, kind of 30-40 feet if you let them. And we also have dwarf apple trees, which are easier to maintain in a small yard.
Easier to pick too.
Yep, easier to pick, exactly. They'll stay 12 feet kind of thing. Yeah.
How about crab apples?
Yep, we have lots of crab apples. We have apple crabs as well, so they're like a
what's the difference
crab apple size apple, but they taste good.
Oh,
so
I
that's
see.
The difference.
They're sweeter.
Yeah, we have the plums here.
Oh man, look at that. Even plums. That is amazing.
Yep. Yeah, usually nice big mature trees.
I never would have thought.
Within a year or two.
Sorry, a year or two?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
they're
not
pretty
bad.
mature trees, right? So it's will bear fruit around 3 to 5 years old, and most of these are already 3 or 4 years old. So most of them are starting their bearing cycle. Yeah. Apricots.
Oh, apricots. That's bizarre to grow an apricot in the north.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
well, I know it's the near north.
Hardy apricots, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And this is just, these are orders that people already placed. They picked up, so we pulled a few of the bigger ones aside.
Yeah.
streamline things. Yeah.
Amazing.
Over here we have like native shrubs to start. So brought up some pawpaws. They're probably not going to grow here, but one of the things people demand of me, so I tried to source the best I could, and then a few other kind of.
What are these unusual rooty type
Yeah, they're
plants?
hackberry. So
Hackberries.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the whole berry section here?
Yeah, this is kind
We've
of the
got
native
all these
trees
lined up.
here. Yeah, we got elderberries, high bush cranberries, hazelnuts, buffalo berries, aronias, nannyberries, saskatoons. So these are kind of your native berry section. So things you would traditionally just find here wild in the forest. Yeah.
All right. Wow, that is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going here.
Yeah, then we move into the haskaps. So they're all the rage here.
They
in Northern
are.
Ontario
There's a
now.
number of farms that grow haskaps.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much
Look at that.
unstoppable. So they're pretty easy to grow. They're one of the earliest fruits. There's no stopping them.
Oh, will they get carried away?
Nope. They
Nope.
stay put. They don't sucker. They don't spread. They're pretty easy going when it comes to that. So
Honeyberry.
yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's just the other name for the haskap.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, haskap honeyberry.
Honeyberry. Yeah. Okay, I get
changeable.
that. It's a kind of haskap.
Yep. Then we have the cherries, the shrub cherries from the prairies. So they're hardy down to zone 2, so they're extremely hardy, extremely vigorous. They're not a traditional tree, although you could force them up to tree form. They
This
prefer to
isn't
be
like
a shrub.
choke cherry
Nope, these are full-on edible yum cherries. Yeah.
with sweet cherries.
Well, they're called sour cherries. They're bred off the sour cherries, but they're
Okay.
really quite sweet for eating. But the
Nice.
sweet cherries is a whole different kind of genus in the cherry family.
Okay. Juliet cherry.
Yeah, Romeo, Juliet, Cupid, what they call the romance series. So they named them
really?
after all the
That's cute.
romantic figures. Yeah.
And these trees?
Yeah,
Are these
that's the
a
same
berry
thing.
tree?
So they're the Cupid cherries, but they've been
Yeah.
forced up into tree form.
Oh,
So that's
I
about
see.
the size they'll get. They're not going to get much bigger, but they're nice little
Very
ornamental
nice.
tree. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got blueberries here.
Now blueberries, what size blueberries are we talking about?
So they're high bush blueberries, so they'll grow to a shrub kind of 4 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll bear large berries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then grapes
Makes
are in the
collecting
back.
a lot easier when
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
they
collect
sure
bigger
do.
berries.
Yeah, grapes in the back.
Oh, these are the
Raspberries.
grapes.
Yeah.
Gooseberries.
Yeah. Gooseberries.
My
currants.
Oma had gooseberries. That's an acquired taste.
Oh yeah, not for everybody, but some people love them. Asparagus. So we do have some perennial vegetables and stuff. Yeah.
How cool is that?
Sea buckthorn, goji berries, rhubarb.
Red Lake currant.
Yeah, so we have red, white, and black currants.
Black currants. Sea buckthorn.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think you could eat buckthorn, but
Yeah, the sea buckthorn has those small little berries.
goji berries. Ah, rhubarb.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's great when a farm has rhubarb. I just,
Oh yeah.
it's a
Everybody
real
needs
spring tonic type thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
everybody needs a little patch for sure.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Now, what are these tall,
So those are
willowy
willows.
type of
Yeah,
things?
so those are willows. So we have some, some other trees, right? So there's the black walnut, the butternuts. We have a few different varieties of willows, maples. So we have some silver maples and some red maples, and then bur oaks. and a few
So
other
you
kinds
have
of
more
trees.
than just fruit trees. You
Yeah,
have
mountain
other kinds of trees.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a
Also, North Hardy.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. We have roses this year. We have a little bit of perennial flowers and more raspberries and strawberries in the greenhouse there. Definitely a little bit of everything.
Look
We
at
try
all
to
these
source
strawberry
anything
plants.
anybody's looking for. And,
Yeah. So we can call you up and put in a request, can we?
yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Look at all these
Do my best to
beautiful
track it down.
plants. Oh, these are decorative, aren't they?
Yep.
Silver
yep, just the
mound,
flowers for
artemisia.
sure. Yep.
Oh, very, very nice. Bleeding heart.
Yeah. Kiwi vines.
Sweetgrass.
Yeah, we have a few grasses this year.
How do you
Sweetgrass.
like that?
Sage.
That's beautiful. Look at that. Very, very nice. I was wondering where I could buy sweetgrass.
There you go, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are,
Okay.
these are roses, so they're from the
Yeah,
either the
those look
Canadian
prickly.
Explorer series or the Artist series, all prairie bred roses, extra hardy.
Wow, that must be quite the farm out in, where is it, close to Saskatoon?
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's a couple of them.
Middle of the prairies, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. What are these?
grasses, just
Okay.
native grasses, big
Yeah,
blue
that
stem,
have
I
been
think.
cut and
or-
they're ready to come out.
yeah.
Wow, so are these really old fruit trees that
Yeah, so
happen
these
to
are-
be on your farm?
No, these are trees I planted. So I've been here
Oh.
about 18 years now. So
Wow.
these are kind of 15 to 18-year-old fruit trees.
Right.
So there's some apples on the outsides, and then these are plums through the middle.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a bit of a showcase when people are here, you know.
It is.
People don't want to believe me, they can grow pears, and I tell them, you know,
Yeah,
look at
that
how
is-
big my pear trees are over there, right?
That is
So the
hard to
big,
believe.
gigantic ones over there are
Those are pear trees.
15-year-old pear trees, yeah.
Huh.
Yep, they get quite big. Grapevines, hascaps, raspberries, you know, a little bit of everything around here to
Right.
showcase when people are buying.
So if I were to want to buy something, do you have the prices online as well?
Yep. Oh yeah, the website's it's beautifulfieldfarm.com.
Okay.
It's got a storefront, so you can order directly online. You can schedule your pickup time, or you can just come anytime we're
Right.
open and browse
and
over a
also
selection.
pay online,
Yep, you can pay online too, credit card, or you send a
e-transfer.
e-transfer, or you
Okay.
just you know say
And
you're
I can
coming.
show
and,
up with cash as well.
Yep, just say you're coming and bring the cash. And
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
sell out like halfway through the spring, or is it...
Historically, so it depends on the year and the demand. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
years where, I mean, opening day I'm sold out, but I've been able to manage a little bit better since then. So
Okay.
usually I aim to be about 50% sold out on pre-sales, and I try to have just enough for when people come that there's always something here.
Okay. And when is your grand opening?
So it was last week, it was last Tuesday.
Oh,
So this is my
okay.
second week open now.
Okay.
And then the website launched for pre-sales, I think sometime the end of March, beginning of April usually. So
Okay.
usually about a 1-month period. I like to wait till I have my confirmations from the nurseries, because there's always a few shortages, a few
yes.
things that don't make it. So it gets complicated if I do the pre-sales too early. And
Yeah.
then there's stuff not coming and substitutions and whatever. So
Okay. Yeah, you just jiggle things around a little bit and...
yeah, make it
Yeah.
work.
Wow, there certainly is a huge selection here. So can we go back to the apple trees for a sec
Yeah,
and
of
tell me
course.
what you've got?
Yeah.
Because I'm quite partial to apples and I make a great apple pie. So I often use Macintosh. Do you happen to have Macintosh here?
Nope, no Macintosh.
No.
So the only one you'll probably recognize from the grocery store would be the Honeycrisp.
Okay.
We do bring in the Honeycrisp. They're a Zone 4 apple. They're quite hardy, but the demand's there, so I bring them in, right? But
Yeah.
generally everything we have is either Zone 2 or 3. We
Okay.
really specialize in the ultra hardy kind of apples.
Okay, so Macintosh is not a super hardy.
No,
Uh,
it's more of a
apple.
Zone 4 apple,
Got it.
right? There is a lot of Macintosh trees in town.
Do you
but-
have a tart apple here?
Oh yeah, we've got all kinds of different
Okay,
stuff.
You
Yeah.
show me, okay?
Yeah.
You just go through them and rhyme them off.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's some I've never heard of. Red
No, you're-
sparkle apple. I've never
It's
heard of that.
unlikely, yeah, you'd recognize the names. They're not grocery store apples. We have Dexter
Okay.
Jackson. That's a nice September apple, a sweet apple.
Wow.
Norland and Norkent are kind of ultra hardy apples down to Zone 2. They're one of the first ones that bred out of the prairies. They're a nice, softer one, actually really nice for cooking. It's even got soft peel, so oftentimes I don't even peel it when I'm baking with it and stuff.
Nice.
Prairie Magic's a nice, firm, hardy apple. Gemini is a nice one of the first earliest apples. They're also hardy down to Zone 2. That's one of my favorites. It's always been the most successful here. They're very firm, very crunchy.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Dwarf Gemini apple. Yeah, no, I haven't heard any of these names.
No, probably not, right?
I mean, you hear about delicious apples. Honeycrisps are in the stores.
Yeah.
But this is great.
No, Goodland, which is a nice firm early September apple.
Yeah, they look great. That picture looks really great.
Yeah.
They look like Macintoshes, except not quite as red.
Yeah, they'd be similar, There's the Honeycrisp, like we talked about.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of them will start repeating now that we're in the standard trees.
I
so these would be a lot of the same one. Prairie Magic, Prairie Sensation, they're really nice.
Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
Prairie Magic's a really, really nice apple. Yeah. Odyssey, that's a really kind of sweet, soft apple. They say
Look how
it's
orange it is.
The
That's
Gala.
very unusual. Oh, like a Gala?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I've heard of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Prairie Sensation, and we're going to repeat Nor Kent, Norland.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We also have grafted trees. So over there we have a combination tree. So that's a tree that has 2 or 3 or 4 varieties on the same tree.
That's
if you
different.
needed, if you wanted to.
These are the grafts?
Yeah, these
right
are the
here?
grafts. So you can see the colored branches indicate where a graft's been put on. So
Oh.
those branches will bear a different type of apple.
Isn't
So if you only
that
have room for
something?
one tree, and you wanted to do that, then you can
Okay.
get away with that.
It's true, eh?
Yeah.
So you can't grow these in pots. They have to go into
they
the
should go
soil.
in the ground for sure. Yeah, they'll get root bound pretty quick in a pot.
Yeah. And when is the ideal time to plant?
As soon as you can. So as early in the
It's
season
like
as you
now.
can. Yeah, or like a
The
month
ground
ago
is
if you had
the
trees,
ground
right?
is thawed and
As soon as the ground's workable, so that they
Yeah.
wake up in their new home and they don't go through
Yeah.
that transplant shock.
yeah.
Where if you wait till they're already actively growing,
Yeah.
then it's a little bit harder on them.
Okay. So now's kind of ideal,
Yeah,
and we are on May 6th here, so
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
For sure.
So Phil, here's a question I need to ask
Yeah.
you. Can you just have one apple tree?
Not if you want to get fruit, right? So you need to have 2 varieties to cross-pollinate, right? So if you're in a neighborhood or a subdivision, oftentimes somebody on your block has a crabapple tree and you'll do
Yeah.
fine. They usually say within 400 to 500 feet, you need to have a second tree within that kind of zone to be able to have the pollen come around, right?
Okay.
Another misconception is people sometimes think if they got 2 of the same tree, they would cross-pollinate, but they're actually clones of each other. So say you had 2 Macintosh trees or 2 Honeycrisp trees, they're not actually going to pollinate each other because they'd have the same pollen on each tree. So
Okay.
you actually need 2 separate varieties.
Really?
Yeah.
I have never heard that before. I was just told at a, just ordinary
Yeah,
hardware
oftentimes
store
they'll say
garden.
any 2.
Any 2 will do.
Yeah. No, because if they're the same tree, there's, essentially they're all grafted on a rootstock. They're all essentially clones of
I
each other.
see.
So the pollen won't cross-pollinate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so well, thank you very much for hosting us and showing
Yeah,
us
my
around
pleasure.
here.
Yeah.
This is quite the nice little place.
Yeah.
You've got
That's the kids.
Wood-
So my
wood
kids run a little
crafts.
bit of a side business here.
Isn't
They've got
that
some
great?
wildflower seedlings, some bee houses. They dig up a few things from the yard we propagate: lilacs, fiddlehead ferns, wild currants. And then my stepdad's a chainsaw carver, so that's his stuff too. So
Right.
we put that up here too.
Well,
yeah,
I
to
think
show
I'll
off.
go and take a look at that.
Yeah, for sure as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Phil.
my pleasure.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
take
great to meet
care.
you. Yeah.